This is how I know that you're listening to it at 3 times speed, is because I get a text at 4:02, not funny. And I'm like, you listen to it? What? Not a good one. Didn't cry at all.
I don't think I've never texted you that.
That's true.
But I do listen when you play the intro.
Your show's coming out at 3:30 in the morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just for you.
A little Easter egg that people won't know until after it came out.
2 things on this. When you played the intro, I was laughing to myself because it's slower than what I've ever heard.
Of course, because of course.
But on
There's
this show,
no speed button on here. I can't do this.
I know,
okay?
I understand, and I should not talk faster. I only listen to this show at 1.3, or Jeff is always there. 1.5. It doesn't speed up the tone. It's not like Chipmunks. It just goes faster.
Yes, welcome to the Beatitudes, ladies and gentlemen. We're so happy to have you here with us. This is a show for Christian men, and we are on our way, God willing, to eternity with our Heavenly Father in heaven. That's what we're trying to do. I keep saying to eternity. I want to clarify, like, which part.
The good side, as we discussed last week.
We're trying to be with the good guys.
That's it.
My name is Jeff Scheffelbein. I'm joined by a handful of good guys. 2 of them are co-hosts, Nick Besner.
Good guy, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, good guy number 2. Thumbs.
Sure.
And Paul Kolker.
Individual index fingers up.
Yeah, that is a very common phrase at sports games. We are excited to be back in studio here, just really trying to share the good news with people that we see at Mass on Sunday. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard this before, but we go to a little parish. It's kind of, you would almost think of it as an outpost or maybe a missionary parish.
Yeah.
About 8,000 people in a weekend. Families. But in a weekend, the attendance.
Yeah. It's like
people
10,000, something like 8 to 10,000.
It might be 18,000. Nobody's sure what, because it's a moving number. It's never the exact same.
Basically a small town.
Yeah.
In and of itself.
And the Holy Spirit, takes the roof off, and then, we raise it, and the Holy Spirit moves it.
Yeah, the whole dome.
We all go to St. Anne's Capel. There's other St. Anne in the Diocese of Dallas. Do you know this?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, not in Capel. So don't.
I did not know that.
It's in Kaufman.
Very close. Yeah. And if you listen to the musical stylings of that voice, that's our guest, Chris Blackwell. Welcome to the show. First time BeatiDudes guest.
Yeah! You're right. It's epic.
Epic music.
Yeah, just epic.
I thought it was going to be a cheer music. But anyways, we're welcome to have you here. Woo!
We're welcome. I love that.
We are.
You are welcome.
No, yeah, we are.
You're welcome to be here.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris, did you walk here?
I did not today.
So you actually joined us from the same place as one of our previous guests, Father John Byer. Well, I know you actually have a house that is not
Yeah, you don't live with the Cistercians.
But that's where I came from today.
You did come there. And you're not a monk. You are a...
Layman.
This is not a quiz.
We're conducting the whole interview with fill in the blank.
We're going to fill in the blank. You help educate...
Students.
Okay. By serving as their...
College counselor.
Wait, this feels like that pyramid game.
Trying to get some analogies like old school SAT.
You help them get to that place where
college.
Yes, that's
purgatory.
No, college.
Purgatory. We're going for heaven, Jeff. We're going for heaven.
Listen, I've been around some high school kids lately. I'll take purgatory for some of them.
Aim for heaven. Even if you miss, you'll land amongst the purgatory.
I've seen that cat poster before. High schools, they have that stuff.
Yeah. Cistercian specifically.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No, we don't. He will not say anything untrue about Cistercian.
Incorrect. Try again.
False.
You will not be buried in the crypt at Cistercian.
No, that's right. Unless I was a benefactor that I know that there are 2 people, I believe, who are not monks in the crypt.
Okay, are there any openings for future benefactors? We're just putting this out there for the $1 million question.
I think there are still
$1 million
about
pyramid.
80 spots left.
Guys, for $80 million, you can put everybody you know in there.
And then they can build another one.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody would say I was wrong.
You're correct.
Yeah. How long have you been there?
2017 is when I started, so 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
And how did you... Go ahead.
Well, and what's the name of your role?
So I'm the director of college counseling at Cistercian Preparatory School. which means that I'm the only counselor at the school. And so I work with them starting in 8th grade before they start their freshman year.
Oh, wow.
Because that summer going into freshman year is when their resume starts. So they should be thinking about, what they could be doing to explore a little bit more about what their job might be in the future, or also just like what they think they want to do. And then every step along the way, pretty much every semester, I'll meet with them freshman, sophomore, junior year, talking about the things they should be doing to prepare for applying to college. And then junior year, they get a lot more in earnest about what they should be doing.
Yeah.
They probably realize it a little bit more at that point.
Yeah.
For themselves.
Well, but I think that because it's a college preparatory school, they kind of go to the school in anticipation of going to college. So they know that it's already on their mind. Sometimes on some students' minds more than others.
Sure.
It was good branding, though, to call it a college prep school.
And then put your role in.
Yeah.
Where you can be a college preparatory person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What, any nuggets of wisdom, like the number one thing you always see that people, not always, the number one thing that seems to be thematically like, get on this now, you're in 8th, 9th, 10th grade. What's the nugget of wisdom for the people that can't go to Cistercian?
Yeah, no, it's your grades matter. And so when colleges are figuring out what kind of students you're going to be in college, the only reference that they have is the kind of student that you've been in high school. So it's an awareness of the fact that if you are starting freshman year, while there are a lot of great things that you can do, going to dances, football games, being super social, having a longer lunch period, there's still an opportunity to focus on your grades and make sure that the colleges are aware of the type of student that you would be if you went there.
Give this guy a raise. Come on, that's a good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Yeah. Circle gets the square. So what, going along that same theme, your grades matter. So go to Cistercian, among the top 5 hardest schools in America for education.
So you get really good grades.
If you get okay grades there, you lapped me on the track.
Yeah. It's a
That's
very
an
difficult
intense school, right?
It's, I would say, hardcore.
Hardcore.
Every class is taught at the advanced honors level, except for our electives. Those are normal.
Like what's an example of that?
The history of space.
There's no advanced AP version of history of
No,
space?
we can't do that. And it only meets twice a week. So it's more like an exploratory class, like space would be, exploring the wild frontier. And in advanced honors classes, it means that it's not just honors, it's like next level honors.
Yeah.
But we don't teach any AP classes.
Oh, got it.
So it's fun, though, that we have students who will take AP exams and score very well on them that they would pass, but they didn't even take the class to take the test.
That's like following the criteria of the rubric of whatever. This is the AP whatever. You're not following necessarily that.
And so it's super rigorous. So the example I'll give to colleges is we have our students who take the AP biology exam, which is normally a senior course. You take AP bio, and then you can take the exam in the summer after your senior year. The national pass rate is like 65%. So people getting a 3 or higher on that test out of 5 is 65% nationwide. Last year, this senior class that I'm working with right now, when they took the AP bio exam, they were freshmen, and 100% of the students who took the AP bio exam got a 3 or better.
Whoa.
Wow. So
Okay.
jaws drop when I tell that to admissions counselors. They're like, what? And I say, and so that's the rigor of our school as freshmen, and then just imagine where they go from there.
Who are you talking to that doesn't already know this? You're Cistercian, for crying out loud.
So it's a kind of small school. There's only about 40 to 45 boys in a form.
That's fair.
Wait.
In a class?
Yeah, so explain
a grade?
that.
So you had Father John Byer on. He's a BeatiDude, and he is a form master. So he starts with these boys when they get into first form, which is in 5th grade, and then travels with them from 5th and the 6th and the 7th and all the way up through their senior year, which is Form 8. So 8 years of high school or 8 years of school at Cistercian, which is basically all of adolescence, which is one of the reasons why I love it. Like from 10 years old until you're 18.
Oh, wow.
To be formed by Catholic monks within this monastery environment to say who you are as a person is something you will discover while you're here, but then also a recognition of like, so who am I? And I ask those questions, and then to be formed to say, and these are things that are virtuous, and these are things that you should be doing. This is just how a great man will function. So that word magnanimity is something that I'm real big on, and that the monks are as well, but also in humility.
It's a good caveat.
They're supposed to go together.
Yeah,
You're not really supposed to do the one without the other.
The Power of Magnanimity.
Yep.
Is that book back here?
Prob?
I thought you've watched the show before.
I can't zoom in close enough on the screen.
Fair enough. If you could take one of the classes at Cistercian just now as a 30-something, you're 40? How old are you?
I'm 41.
Yeah. Correct. What class would you take if you could? Is it history of space?
No, Algebra 2.
Go on.
So I sat in an Algebra 2 class, which is what we teach as sophomores, or to our sophomores. And the fun thing about Cistercian 2 is that everybody takes the exact same class. Mm-hmm. So we don't really have a whole lot of selection without those electives. You're not taking other classes. You have an A side and a B side to the school. And so if you're on the A side, you might be taking history while the students on the B side are taking math. But then when the bell rings, the students stay in their class and the teachers swap.
Oh,
and so now you have math on one side and history on the other. So if you miss your homework, you're like, hey, I missed it. And you don't have to be in the same classroom because you got the same material as the people from the other class. So Algebra 2, I was sitting in a class and they were talking about, I think, the circumference of a circle, which the formula is
2 pi r.
Correct.
Yeah. I used to teach math, so I should know that.
So they had already learned about what pi is as a number. And they talked about how the distance from the edge to the radius and then having that multiplied and then why it all works out. So they were explaining how you would potentially use the radius to determine the circumference of a circle. And what they found is that if you multiply the radius times 2 and then times pi, you have the circumference. And they're like, oh, that makes sense. And so they said the formula for finding a circumference is 2 pi r. But before that, nobody knew that. Mm-hmm. So they had to prove the reason why the formula works before they found the formula.
And it was the process of discovery as well, of arriving at it the same way any of the previous, well, I should say the original mathematicians would have arrived at it, because they weren't just given that formula.
Right. Where's the sheet? Where's my cheat sheet before I take the test? It's like, no, you've learned how to process the foundations of the information to now apply this in multiple different situations.
Yeah. It's always 22/7. What's this ratio?
Yeah. Right. What?
Right? 3.14?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that is one of the approximations for it. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And it's delicious.
I was a math guy.
Dumb question that I'm serious about. Are you allowed to have technology inside of Cistercian? Like, could a kid have their technology? Is this a tech-free zone?
So we take up the phones at the beginning of this school day. So if you have a cell phone, we'll take that away. Or they actually check it into a locker, a little cubby that we give them at the morning. And then they'll get it back at the end of the day. So there's no smartphones that are in the classrooms.
Nice.
And then technology-wise, no one's walking around with a laptop. It's mostly all taught in the classroom. And then we still have a lot of whiteboards everywhere. There's still one chalkboard left in the school also.
Wow. Now,
I've heard...
if you catch somebody with a phone, do you just smash it with a hammer? Or
no. So the first offense, I was just listening...
To the crypts.
The first form, or the fifth form master was just talking to his students about the warning, because freshman year is when some of the guys will get their phones. So he says our handbook says that the first offense for being caught with a phone is that it's taken away from you for 2 days. So you don't have access to it. And then the next time, if it happens again, it's taken away for 2 weeks.
I love it.
That's an eternity for a high school student.
I know you have something to add here, but I want to ask if we could add a different punishment. We take it away and we just press record and then set it down somewhere, like out in nature. And you're going to have until it runs out of battery. We're just going to use, not battery, storage. We're just going to use it all up with video.
There you go.
Yeah, it's going to be, wow, that's easy to delete.
You just delete it. And
yeah, that doesn't, I'm not tracking that.
I was just trying to make it like where the phone becomes crippled by the moment of your stupidity. But I guess a hammer would do that.
Crippled by nature.
But oftentimes, like they're not the ones that purchase their phone. Also, you should remind yourselves that I am the college counselor at this school, not the person who runs the school. So
Enforcer.
That's where we feel comfortable.
Chris Blackwell, enforcer.
Great advice.
But you do remind them that the student that they're looking for in college is what you are right now. So you can guilt/shame them repeatedly.
Yeah.
I did read something.
I could put this in your letter of recommendation.
There you go.
Which is a disrecommendation.
Yeah. I cannot recommend.
I do not do that.
Hey y'all, Kevin Fitzpatrick here. I have a course called Major Gift Millions that teaches nonprofit fundraisers how to raise more money from their top donors. Normally, it's $1,500, but if you click the link below and use the coupon code BeatiDudes at checkout, you can get enrolled for free today.
Everybody saying, dude?
Yeah, I just read something or saw something. It was basically, even if your phone is put away, like in a bag or put away, but in the room, test scores and ability to focus declines 25%.
Whoa.
Even if it's not in your pocket or on the table. So
addicted nature.
You've heard that.
It's from Anxious Generation.
Is it height? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you read Anxious Generation?
No, I just
Seems
read
like
the
something
report.
you would do if you were.
I read the report when it came out.
Okay. Oh, you went to the actual studies.
The data.
Yeah.
I don't think.
First source.
Right. That's right. That's another great thing about Cistercian is that we use so many primary sources. So we're not saying this is what Martin Luther King said at his I Have a Dream speech. You're going to read the speech. You're going to discern what you gathered from that. You'll write a report about it, and then we'll discuss it.
That's why you're here on the Beatitudes.
Oh my
you don't
gosh.
have to talk about what you heard on a podcast.
That's right.
This
I'm
is
here
what
experiencing
happens.
it in real life. I'm so excited, guys. You don't have, I'm trying to
Source.
contain my
Are we
excitement right now.
rebranding to the Cistercian podcast?
Yeah. I think at least we don't have any subscribers. They don't have cell phones in their classroom. Can you show our show to people when they're worried about college?
Yeah, like do you have like a cart with a TV on it that you
So,
can wheel in?
no, I mentioned that I was
The
listening.
97 cart? Yeah, exactly.
So the form master has a period that's just for his group, for his class, every single week. So he gets to talk to them and literally form them into the men that they're going to be. And he can talk about a lot of different things. And so I was in the room because I was talking about setting goals and the importance of setting goals and how you do that in the process. I'm sure you guys are familiar with
Smart.
this. Smart goals, you got it. And I'd talk about doing it with a laser focus.
Ooh, what does that spell?
Lifestyle, it spells laser. But
Yeah, there we go. Correct. How do you say that in English? See?
Laser.
Correct.
C, no, yes in Spanish.
Oh, C.
Yeah. Keep going.
Lifestyle, academics, spirituality, extracurriculars. What's the R stand for?
Recreation.
Close. That would go with
Respite.
lifestyle.
Oh, I guess.
Relationships.
Oh, yeah, makes sense.
Now, high school relationships, it could be relationships with the opposite sex. It could be relationships with their peers, with their siblings, with their parents. And so if you think about your life in those 5 different categories and you try to think about who you want to be in each one of those categories, then you can set goals to try to accomplish that. And especially freshman year after your first semester of academics, that might be one thing to say my grades aren't where I want them to be. So what do I need to do? What process do I need to change in order to achieve the GPA that I'm looking for, potentially to be accepted into the college that I want to go to? And if it's not just about grades, even though those are important, as I mentioned.
You made that abundantly clear and scared me.
Grades.
Yeah, Jeff, you're not going to get into the college.
No, I'm not getting into Cistercian either.
And A&M's getting hard to get into, guys. I don't know if you know this.
Don't worry about it. We already finished.
You have kids,
You
Jeff.
have many children.
Oh, yeah.
And if they want to go to school there, I mean, this is their most selective school or most selective year on record. Increased their applications by 13%. Their top 10% automatic admits increased by 11%.
That's literally just a marketing engine at some point.
Oh, man.
Like, this is the most exclusive thing you could ever do. We're going up in price.
And that's how they all sound.
How did giggle?
Why are they all Colonel Sanders from the 70s?
Because there's tradition. We're
Yeah.
going back to tradition.
Yeah,
We're
the-
on tradition.
The 1870s.
Yeah. Get you a bucket. Let's go to work.
If you're still with us.
Yeah, a bucket of chicken.
Colonel
I'm with you.
Sanders.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Get you a bucket.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about the colleges.
What?
What do you need a bucket at college for?
Oh, lots of things.
Lots of stuff.
It's like
You
the Home
didn't, go
Depot
to
bucket.
you didn't go to A&M?
Yeah. we didn't have, back when all of
It's
us
obvious by that question.
over the 14-year span that we went there wasn't even concrete. We had mud roads that we had to dig out with them buckets.
But you know how it got its name, obviously. The
Agricultural and mechanical.
In Texas.
the train that went through.
Oh, the city.
Oh, the city.
College Station.
College train station.
Why are you talking every time I talk?
I'm just so that we do know.
Okay, yep. It was the station that the train stopped at.
Yes.
Where the college was.
Well, it was so that the students would not miss the stop too. Apparently, it was
'cause
just
they-
let's just call it what it is. This is
Because they
college
wouldn't have
station.
known to get off otherwise?
No,
Is that
it-
who goes to A&M?
Says the college counselor. Wow.
Who's talking up how good A&M is?
I know you send
guys,
kids
I
there.
know a lot. I do.
We can't say any names, but we know some right now that are down there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it is, I think, and what's fun in this Catholic podcast is that, or Catholic podcast for Christian men
It's a
seeking.
Godcast at this
God,
point.
I love it. And
Godcast.
fraternity, guys, I love the fraternity.
Thank you. You're feeling it.
Very much so right now.
He's like more than I care to.
Somehow more in my throat than I expected.
No, Texas A&M is one of the largest Catholic universities, even though
Correct.
it's not officially Catholic.
Correct.
It is, I mean, because of the St. Mary's Center down there, it is it is just a phenomenal place where people who are looking to have a great value in the state of Texas and also recognize the value of the degree that's going to come afterwards without having to spend a whole lot of money for a private school, even though there's a lot of scholarships out there.
Yeah.
If they want to be connected to a Catholic community, it's just super strong. So I've heard a lot of great things coming out of that place.
Yeah. St. Mary's Center gets the credit. The Holy Spirit gets the credit for making the St. Mary's Center happen. So, it's just
and I haven't seen the new church yet. Have y'all been there?
Oh, it's incredible.
It's insane. It's a basilica.
Yeah, that's
It is
awesome.
Insanely beautiful.
At NEC, there was like some like display of like churches or something, and it was like featuring
The
that.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and they brought in art from Oberammergau, Germany, which is in Bavaria.
Yeah, where the Christmas show is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every 10 years they do the Passion Play there.
Right.
Yep. So, so I mean, but it's like high quality mosaics and statues and all kinds of stuff. It's beautiful.
I've been to a lot of Catholic churches on college campuses, and so I'm looking forward to seeing this one because right now there's another one that takes the cake in my mind.
Go on.
Say it won't disprove you. Go ahead.
University of San Diego has a church on campus called
Nobody
the
here has a
Immaculata.
problem with the University of San Diego.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we're
as
cool
long as
with
it's
that.
not in Texas.
All right, great. Great.
Immaculata.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. There are mosaics everywhere of the Virgin Mary and then different altars on the sides. Prettiest Catholic church I've been on a college campus.
What about Thomas Aquinas College?
In California?
Yeah.
I had never been in their church.
Oh, you haven't? Because I think that's fairly new, and they designed it in like a classical,
All right.
like maybe 10 years old or something
Life
at this
goals.
point.
I've been to about 25% of the colleges in the United States.
Wow.
That's real? You've been hustling.
That's a lot.
The number
good,
now,
yeah.
729 is the number.
That you've been to?
Yeah, I have an Excel spreadsheet that I keep track of every college campus that
is
I've been
wild.
to.
How many degrees have you earned?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
And my degree is in aviation science.
Sure,
Wait, for
of course.
I learned how to fly airplanes in college.
No, because you're helping students to take off.
Yes, spread their wings and fly.
Propelling them forward.
Yes.
Amen.
On
Yes.
eagle's wings.
Yes.
I think though, and if I would have had a college counselor who I talked to when I was in high school, who was like, "Chris, you like talking to people a lot more than pilots get to," then I would have maybe had to rethink. Like, maybe that's not the
but
career
you get
for
to
me.
do that. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the left-hand side of the airplane, you'll see the Grand Canyon.
Here's my version from business travel.
Tell me.
I know some of you are sleeping right now, but there's this irrelevant detail that somebody else could share with you. I'm going to share it with you because I'm stuck up here looking at this windshield.
That's exactly what I would have
what?
done.
Why
Like
are you
I'm trying
talking?
to
You're a
sleep.
pilot.
I'm trying to sleep back here. Can you
Yeah.
just?
We've run out of the little bronze wings.
And so, if you have a son who would like to come to the cockpit, you can't do that. And so, the other thing that was
Can't
unique
do
is
that.
that,
Just get him some coffee.
like, I would have been that annoying pilot that would have said
sure.
too much. Like,
We all know this.
anybody else want
Chris
to
is
talk to
playing
me?
it really like I'm a total professional, but I watched you grabbing on the mic at the synod, doing mic drop moments.
man.
Like you were borderline like break
What was your
dancing in
role?
front
What
of
was your role at the
He was
synod?
one of the delegates.
I was a
voting
delegate,
delegate.
indeed.
And they
Yeah.
get to like say things. You can't say what they said because it was the synod. But he'd get up there and he would hold the
there.
mic like he was a rapper. And then when he was done, he would hold it up and look at Paul in the eyes, and it got really awkward.
No. Here's the best moment.
Yeah.
Here's the best
Yeah.
moment. Well, actually, there's two. There's
best moments.
Two really good Chris Blackwell moments from the Synod. One was we were testing things out as we were getting started. And so he got up there and debated, I think, about the merits of butterfinger.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
That's what it was, Reese's peanut butter cups, because it was a test resolution, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, this is inconsequential, but we're just
sure.
showing how the process works. Well, he had like actual arguments and was like laying out stuff, and he
Nice.
was trying to run out the clock to show everybody
The
how
microphone.
long a
Yeah.
minute, because a minute and a half, the mic just cuts out.
Cuts out, so you can keep talking, but then
Yeah, exactly. So he was trying to do that, and they cut him out early because
But it was funny. Then I made a reputation for myself for being the Reese's peanut butter cup guy.
Sure.
Yeah. So he had that.
Something like that's
Memorable.
going to stick. Yeah.
People will know me.
Yeah.
Okay, and then because there's a minute and a half time limit, this guy who listens to podcasts on triple speed, he downloaded a separate app so that he could listen to it on 3 times speed, or is it even more?
Oh, that's right. It's 3 times.
3 times.
Three
Three
is my
times
max.
speed, because Apple only goes up to like
2x
2x.
ain't enough.
Yeah. No.
Powerhouse.
And so he gets up there.
Do you just like do this to listen?
It's like, you know, the Matrix when they're like got it.
Downloading,
fly, fly the airplane, the helicopter.
No, so then when he's delivering all of his points, and I mean all of them, He said like 15 different things he wanted to address in a minute and a half, and there was no. I don't know when he breathed if it was like circular breathing, like trumpetists do, or
incredible.
Yeah,
I really liked the Micro Machines guy growing up.
The commercial.
So you actually got to comment on every single resolution?
No. In fact, they weren't going to call on me, and I made a sign that I hid in the back, like when the camera was on, so that everybody could see it, and it said, "Pick me." And then it was kind of inappropriate because
unbelievable.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, Lacey
I
was.
thought my points were really good.
I think she was avoiding you for a little bit there.
Well, then we can talk about the bishop was like, "Hey, who's that guy? He's got a sign."
Peanut butter guy.
Yeah,
And Lacey's like,
back up there.
we are going to extend our time a little bit for a few more questions.
Yes.
And I thought, I mean, the point's really good. The problem was it came at the end. And so people were like, I'm hearing some of the resolutions that he's speaking to, but I've already decided which ones are more important. But basically, and I talked to Father Edwin about this afterward, also a Beatitude.
Yep.
That it opened with the fact that we have about 7,000 to 9,000 people who will show up at St. Anne's every weekend. And so there was a YouTube video that came out recently about saying it's one of the most popular attended masses or churches out of any school, any church in the country.
Who put this YouTube video out?
I'm not sure.
People?
You can Google it.
Okay,
This is
keep going.
sponsored by it was Other Fedwin, I think was the name of it.
No, well, if you watch the video, it's funny because the points that they say about why St. Anne's is so popular, it's like there are not things that we necessarily would say are what makes our church so awesome. And so that's what I was trying to get across is like our church is awesome, and the reason we have so many people who come to it are these things that if we would, we'd love to share them with other churches in the diocese, and that is very true. Like if we could spread the message so that more people can bring people to Jesus, then like please let us help you. But by the way, these are things that we do that maybe if the whole synod thought that was important for the diocese to prioritize, then maybe the whole diocese of Dallas can be similar to.
You talked so fast, everybody just went out and YouTubed, why is it so popular? And they found out.
So the number one church, they say St.
Cheerios
Matthew.
that we serve afterwards.
There's a church in Charlotte, North Carolina that actually has a larger population than us, but they also have 2 campuses, so I don't think it's fair.
Nope.
Cheaters.
Because like what I've heard, and this may not be true, so maybe I shouldn't say it.
Just go for it.
If the number of people who live in Flower Mound and the Denton or the Fort Worth diocese who go to St. Anne's would break off and start their own church, it would be the largest church in the Fort Worth diocese.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's true. So if anyone's listening from Fort Worth,
I bet that's true.
Maybe we can run the numbers.
Diocese.
That's another.
Fort Worth diocese is a lot of small towns.
We'll put it on the
Lindsay,
put it on the
Texas.
chart. Yeah, that's right.
Wait, is
He
it Fort
does
Worth?
listen. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not adding a whole lot to the population.
Our show actually gets posted at 4 a.m. on
I
Mondays
know
and
because
Fridays.
I wake up at 3:30 and I don't.
This is how I know that you're listening to it at 3 times speed. Is because I get a text at 4:02, not funny. And I'm like, you listen to the whole What? Not a good one. Didn't cry at all.
I don't think
what?
I've never texted you that.
That's true.
But I do listen when
When
you
your
play
show
the
comes
intro.
out, your show's coming out at 3:30 in the morning.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
It's gonna
just
be
for you.
A
Well,
little Easter egg that people won't know until
okay.
after it came out.
2 things on this. When you played the intro, I was laughing to myself because it's slower than what I've ever heard it.
Of course. Because of course.
But on
There's
this show,
no speed
like,
button on here. I can't do this.
I know,
okay?
I understand, and I should not talk faster. I only listen to this show at 1.3, or Jeff is always there. 1.5. It doesn't speed up the tone. It's not like Chipmunks. It just goes faster.
It goes faster.
In fact, I probably wouldn't listen if it was that fast, and it was also like chipmunky.
That's fair.
It's
Thank
hard
you
to get
for
that.
that.
Yeah. But 1.3, because then I can laugh along with the jokes and still not miss what else is said afterwards. I'm still laughing, but it's like because it comes so fast as I continue to laugh. My laugh is not that fast.
Do you want to laugh at something else?
Yes.
This game is called Blessed Are the Joke Makers, for they shall inherit the 104 points.
I like the way we're doing this.
Yeah, that's right. And the way this works, you probably already know, but for our
Yeah.
listeners who may or may not be new to this, we've got a Catholic card game card and a character card, and we have to answer the prompt on the Catholic card game card as this character, and you just get to decide who done it best according to you.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's completely
you
up
to
to you.
judge.
All right,
Yes.
so what we have to do is, as an IRS agent, records of blank are found in the secret Vatican
Wow,
archives.
this is too real.
This is so slow.
Yes, I'll just be honest. With the recent switchover of power, we just took a whole bunch of records of people who gave to Fair Tax Act, and we stuck them in the Vatican archives, and we've just been holding on to your money for the last 8 years, but we might return it now.
That was based on a true story. That actually happened to you. Okay.
Yes, as one of the IRS agents, newly equipped with handguns for some reason. Records of the 30 pieces of silver that were used are found in the secret Vatican archives, but we did not get a slice of that. So we would like our 15% or 18%, depending on the tax bracket that Judas fell in.
Nice. Nicholas?
Poof, freeze.
Yes, sir.
I know there are some things here. We've got some kids that have been really doing some advanced things coming out of this hotbed of mental and physical, really laser focused, smart kids coming out of Cistercian Abbey, and I'm using my full power of the IRS to investigate. But I know, because they're so advanced, they've been putting out some of these art pieces that are really just ripping off Michelangelo, and so I'm trying to understand the value of those. We can get our cut here, and I know it's all buried in the Vatican archives.
Involved tiebacks, go forwards, cardigans. That had everything.
I thought
You just
someone was
talking
going
about
to go
what you're wearing?
cardigan.
I just pictured him in a cardigan with that gun.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and for those who are listening at home, Nick used his foot to kick, and then put his hands in the shape of a gun.
Luckily, we've cleaned up the studio so he didn't kick any of the cameras.
It was a very committed move.
I mostly listen on audio, so I have to go back to
That's good.
YouTube to watch them sometimes.
For the record, he kicked open the door and then just sat there looking for a little while. It's very calm, cool, and collected. But
It was
I didn't want to shoot too fast.
let the dust settle, right?
Understand the situation.
Get the light on the...
They taught us that in training.
And?
Nick Besner wins.
All right.
That's the action.
Yeah.
So I really liked Paul's silver. I thought someone might have gone with the 2 coins going into the treasury. That would have been good.
The widow's mite.
And Nick kept going, and I was going to cut him off and say, you lost it. You had me. It was A+ work until you kept going, and then it was getting to B and C. But
You started to sound like a
And
common
I brought it
kid.
back around.
Yeah.
really, no, it was just the kick at the beginning that won me
Landed the
over.
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Landed
Listen,
the-
for being our celebrity guest judge, you're going to get a 3 Wiseman pair of socks from Sock Religious. And there's 2 of them.
Black and blue, which is great. I have to wear dress pants every day.
Well, there you go.
I don't have these socks yet.
We know. And so congratulations to you on getting
Been in
those
my sock drawer.
socks.
What else did you find?
You wouldn't
Those are-
believe the research we've done.
Yeah, those are only for our star guests.
Wonderful. Is there a potential that I could trade for BeatiDudes socks?
You could. Hey, let's see how the rest of the episode goes and what
All
you
right,
say.
all right,
and
all
then
right.
You could get a second pair of socks, just depending on the
Thank
second
you
half
so
of the
much.
show.
Play your socks right.
And did you call me a celebrity guest judge on this
Yeah.
one? All right, because I don't really feel like I'm a celebrity. I feel like
Once you get the BeatiDudes socks, you will.
Okay, great.
Yeah, no, that comes later.
All right.
All right.
It's really post once it airs, but
Commercial.
So,
Nick, when it comes to investing, I just feel like money and morality don't always line up. What's the answer?
often that's the case. But our friends at Aquinas Wealth Advisors have a really great solution. It's called the Faith and Finance Score. You go on their website and you put in your info. They tell you where you're invested and where it doesn't actually line up with where you want to be.
So you mean I don't just have to funnel money towards a retirement fund where I don't know what it's investing in?
That's right. You don't. And you don't even have to give up or sacrifice returns. You can get both.
So just get on the computer, and I type in the website.
AquinasWealth.com. It takes longer to type than it does to get your faith and finance score.
Thanks, guys. Great job, Nick.
You betcha.
Dude, you're on fire today.
Well, speaking of that, have you guys ever worn a custom tailored suit?
Yes.
What?
No, trust me, the segue will make sense because On Fire Media will make a custom tailored website for you.
Nice.
So On Fire Media is all about marketing for mission-driven groups, purpose-driven companies. You guys know something about
For
that,
sure.
right? So what they do is they help you with your email marketing. They help you with Google Ads, with a custom website.
With your pay-per-click?
Yes, paper clips, I'm sure, probably.
No, pay per click.
Yes, a term they know, so you don't have to. So they will help you with all of that. All you have to do is, if you want to fret less and mission more, go to onfiremedia.com/BeatiDudes to schedule your discovery call today.
Can I get a discount?
Actually, yes. The first 10 people to sign up and become customers with their own custom website get a 10% discount.
onfiremedia.com/BeatiDudes. You know what I think is hard about starting a business? Healthcare, for crying out loud. It's expensive. It's intimidating. At the end of the day, you're probably paying for stuff you don't even agree with. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I knew you could. So what we did is we started working with Solidarity HealthShare. Totally different. These folks are aligned with us morally and ethically. And even the structure from a cost perspective works for us as we're launching businesses, as we're growing our families. And I don't know if you know this, but a couple times my kids went to the hospital in the last 2 years.
They sure have.
Yours?
But Solidarity has walked with us through all of it, including some crazy stuff for Benny Pro, my little boy. So all of this to say, I would encourage anybody out there thinking about their own business, their own needs, check out Solidarity HealthShare for a better alternative to regular healthcare. So check out learnmore.solidartyhealthshare.org/BeatiDudes.
Stop what you're doing and listen to the Beatitudes.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Chris Blackwell. Reverb. And man, we all know each other, or know you. Well, we all know each other, obviously. But we all know
together.
you.
Who are you people?
And we know each other as we know you.
That's right.
I love that.
Through St. Anne's and
Fraternity.
different avenues.
When did y'all first meet?
Oh, that's a fun one.
Tell me.
He has a better memory than you.
Jeff, since I hang around with you, I meet a lot more people. And,
Fair.
And the amnesia's harder. I think so, Chris. I always see you up there. You're up at the lectern. You're reading the readings.
Sometimes
you're
he's wearing sandals, which is what makes St. Anne so cool.
You're looking
You can
awesome.
wear sandals to any church.
I know.
That is
I called you discalced Chris Blackwell
Yeah,
earlier,
that-
but keep going.
You're leading the family. You're leading the church. You're on parish council.
Is this your way of trying to jog your memory?
Yes. So I think
We've been to some of the same parties.
I think we met after Mass one day, or we were Eucharistic minister
Or maybe it was
together.
donuts.
Yeah.
Maybe it was at Davis's house.
No, it was at
no.
Mass. It was at Mass. I think it was Eucharistic minister together.
Yeah, I think that's
Oh.
true. Or I'd Eucharistic ministered with you, or as a
And then we
minister
got
of
lunch
Holy
at
Communion.
Pacheco.
Yeah, but the aftermath. So I love the fact that our church is so welcoming and inviting, and so sometimes I like to play that part. Actually, every time. And so if I see a couple or a person that I haven't really recognized before, then I would like to go and meet them.
See,
And
it's not
so-
hard, people. You just have to do that.
Just go say
thing.
hello.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey,
Hey,
I've seen you
eyebrows.
around." Yeah, I'm
Yo.
Chris. You're
I'm
Eucharistic
Nick.
minister. Yeah, and then I
I'm
learned.
a Eucharistic minister.
And his wife and 2 children at the time,
Gosh, he's
and
good.
2 little daughters.
Yeah.
And then I took out my phone and I put Nick Besner and Briley, and I added his name into my church friends list. Because there's a saying that Chris Blackwell doesn't know any strangers, just a friend he hasn't met yet.
Yeah.
It's a good saying.
So,
Is that a real saying or one you want to speak into existence over the show?
people have said that about me,
Okay, all right.
I'll buy it.
I believe that.
but now it has become a saying.
And then I looked back. Do you know the first time we messaged each other on the little platform they call LinkedIn?
No.
It was 7 days before your birthday in May of 2017.
Wow,
Yeah. I also looked up your birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. I was going to try to get you Saint socks that matched your birthday. That Saint's a weird one.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's like a German one.
Yeah. Which all Germans are.
Oh, weird.
Well, ask Kolker.
Your last name is Scheffelbein.
Besner.
Yeah, I think we're all.
I
Yeah.
was
Saint
like, this
socks.
is actually just a German
For
show.
a birthday, I mean, birthday is great. I think you could tie it to occupation, like Aquinas was a teacher, or
Yeah.
Saint Joseph as a father.
Well,
or,
you are with 3 wise men, so I did tie it to
Drop the mic.
He was waiting for you to set him up like that.
you
Can't
took me
set
to
'em up like
subs and stuff.
Subs and stuff. I freaking love that
and you
place.
you kind of big timed it because that guy knew your order before you finished opening the
Hey,
door.
Chris.
And he was like, Chris, I got the mushroom botticelli for you, blah, blah, blah.
I got the Chris Blackwell for you.
Who's the weirdo? And I
Yeah.
was like, what? And he was like, what are you eating? And I'm like, Chris, what do I do? And you were like, shut up, follow my lead. Like, and you
Just
covered
order
me.
the special.
Yeah, say special.
The special. You'll never go
No
wrong.
soup for you.
Yeah, it's kind of what it
I
feels
went
like.
back there once in the last 8 years. I thought I like that place. It's actually really delicious. And he was like, "You've been here before?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir, with Chris Blackwell. I was here in 2017." And he was like, "Okay, what'd you eat then?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, can I call him? Can I call Chris? I don't know what we said."
Unfortunately, I don't know if Johnny listens to this, but he calls me Christian, which is not an error. But he learned my name as Christian, and so that's become in his mind. And so, oh yeah, we know Christian at Cistercian.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Christians
Sure.
at Cistercian. I mean, there are many of us.
You're one of them.
Yeah.
yeah.
One amongst.
And so they have a card that you can get stamped, and on Tuesdays they do double stamps. And so that's my favorite time. And if you can get all of the stamps on the card, then you can get a free sandwich.
Yeah.
And they have this awesome sandwich called the Maverick, which has like 7 different meats on it and
You're making me
6
hungry.
different cheeses.
You should
can-
go to this place. It's on
you
the
can-
way to Pacheco.
It's
Just
right-
go
it's
fly
right
right
by
You guys
by.
should go.
Yeah.
It's like right around the corner
Yeah,
from
it's
this
very
Lucid
close.
private offices.
.com.
.com.
We don't even have to do any of the advertising.
That was awesome.
Guys, that's what I'm here for. Like,
Yeah. Well, have you as an ambassador from your school visited ever a college that might be Catholic in Wyoming?
Yeah.
yes.
Ah,
What would be the name of that?
No, actually, I haven't.
Oh, you
but
haven't?
I know that Wyoming Catholic College exists in Lander.
So it's
Wyoming?
an open cell on the spreadsheet.
it's open.
Yeah, so I don't actually. I just type them in as I go and visit them. So it's like a list that continues.
So it's
to go
not even
down.
on the spreadsheet.
It
Not
will
yet.
be soon. So actually, I was invited. Fun thing about being a college counselor is that colleges want to invite you to their campuses to say, we know that your students are going to change every year, but you're probably going to stay in the same place. And so if we can
You're
bring
the
you onto
gatekeeper.
campus
Yeah.
and like wine and dine you and give you this awesome experience, then you can come back and for years and generations to come.
Have you thought about?
Yeah, Wyoming Catholic. It's an awesome place. I was just there. Or they put my name on the billboard, or the jumbotron. That was at the University.
Up in
of
Wyoming, they call them
Colorado.
bullboards.
Yeah, because you have to get on the bull to do it. It's the next rider.
Oh yeah,
Get on the bull board, Chris Blackwell.
yeah. That
Those
and that,
sandals are going to work out real well when you're running for your life. Hey, but you've known this cat for a while, right? Hairdo over here.
Paul Kolker.
Yeah,
Yep.
2009.
That's when
How
we
did that
go
happen?
back.
I was in seminary at the
I would
time.
have guessed it was before that. I thought maybe you guys played like pee-wee ball or something.
No, we don't
No.
go quite that far back.
Okay.
But yeah. I got invited to a young adult
20-somethings.
20-somethings. That's what it was. It was called the 20-somethings.
Jinx.
Sweet. That was really
One, two, three, four, five, six.
Nice.
That's what y'all played.
But it wasn't your now lovely wife coordinating it at
Yeah,
the time?
that's
if I
how I
remember
met
right?
her. Mhm.
Okay, all right, that's right. So she had reached out to me, I guess, on Facebook or something, or somebody in
Back
the
in the
group like reached out to me and was saying, "Hey, would you come give a talk at one of our summer?" It was like once a month or something.
What was the talk you gave?
I gave a talk on the Eucharist.
It was awesome.
Awesome,
Oh,
brother.
thanks, man.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't doubt that.
He did a lot of Scott Hahn.
Yeah, I did. I did refer to the fourth cup, which was
It blows your mind if you get into that theology. Fourth cup.
Yep.
Look it
Yeah.
up on YouTube.
Well, it's basically how the Lord transforms the Passover, right? There's a certain number of cups that are offered, and that's what St. Paul even refers to, the cup of blessing, which we bless, is not a participation. I mean, so St. Paul breaks it down by that same theology, and so I was walking people through that and saying, well, he stops at 3 cups. And so the fourth cup is what he says on the cross. Yeah.
And it's so great in that John 6. And the other thing that Paul talked about at that talk in 2009 was how I remember it so vividly because it was Jesus doesn't say just if you eat my flesh, then you have no life within you, because he keeps saying it. He keeps coming back to the fact that like if you don't, like I said, eat my flesh. And then people are like, this is a hard teaching. Who can understand it? And he's like, no, one up. If you eat my flesh and drink my blood.
Yeah. If you didn't understand me that
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Like I can't drink blood. That's against the old covenant law. And that's
Right.
right. This is the new covenant.
Yeah, he keeps upping the ante. So it's like they keep pushing back against him.
So I was like, I want to be friends with that guy.
He made it on the list.
and we went to subs and stuff. And no.
Well, then he got a job at the school that I worked at.
Yeah, so I had discerned
What?
out not too long. It was maybe like 6 months after.
I saw him
that.
again. I was like,
You worked at
where's that
Cistercian?
collar,
No,
buddy?
that was recent. You worked at
No, this
Jesuit.
Jesuit.
College
This was
prep.
back in
Oh, my
Jesuit.
goodness.
Yeah,
JCP.
yeah, the other college prep school
Yeah,
for boys.
all boys Catholic school in Dallas. Indeed.
You like forming young men at college prep schools?
I love it because I feel like my occupation is also my vocation.
Yes, sir.
And I love the fact that I can play a part in these guys' lives to say, like, know who you are. In sophomore year, we give them an aptitude assessment on where their natural strengths lie. And so to try to figure out what is it that you are good at, but the gifts that God has given you. So some people it can be spreadsheets and Excel and math and science. And other people, it's like relationships and being a counselor. And so it presents a lot of different jobs to them to say, I didn't know that I had that natural strength, or I never thought I could go into that career field. And so then as they have a conversation with me, if you know what that career field is, then what major do you need to have in order to go into that career? And then what college offers that major. And so now we can talk about colleges, because there's so many great schools that are out there, but a lot of people come and say, I have to go to this school because it's the best school. And then I say, well, that school doesn't even have the major that you want to have in order to get into the career. So let's talk more about the right fit. Like, where is God calling you to? So
I was looking up something the other day, and I found an article from Jesuit, the Roundup magazine, about the calculator.
Calculator is what they called me. I taught
Mr.
math,
Colker.
and somebody came up with the calculator.
And so
You
this
found
is
like Internet Archives or
yeah,
what?
this is April 2015. They wrote an article about him, like kind of where are they now? Well, not where are they now.
Yeah.
He was there.
He was there.
Here,
how did he get here?
mystery solved.
You were the
Where are they now? They're
salutatorian.
still working.
I didn't know you were the salutatorian.
He's a smart guy.
I sworn you were the valedictorians. Seems like
Wow, I thought you were going to go the other direction with that one. But no,
I guess.
you took that one.
Thank you, I guess.
greatest moment of his life. I forget what they asked here. They said, what is something you remember about growing up or whatever? And he gets into this memory. You've never told the Beatitudes, probably hitting a home run in the championship game of an undefeated season in the 7th grade Little League Baseball. How have you been holding out on us?
I don't know.
You're kind of embarrassed by that. It sounds
No,
like.
I didn't realize that I hadn't said something. I don't know. I don't just walk around touting my
Do you have the ball?
accomplishments. I think I do.
Proudest
needs to come up
sports
here.
moment.
Okay.
Is that your proudest sports moment?
I probably,
Okay.
yeah. Like, I mean,
we
it's just,
haven't asked that question.
yeah.
Okay, this one actually gets me. He was talking about time in seminary, and he had already discerned that. Received the opportunity to serve at a Mass in the Vatican and carry Pope Emeritus Benedict's 16th crozier and receive communion from the Pope himself, all in the same Mass. It was also the same crozier that St. John Paul II used when he was Pope. So that's a little wild, too. I mean, I guess on our German podcast, he never thought to bring this up. That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I have pictures of that.
Yes.
Because they have all their
Yeah.
photographers.
Dude, that's
I can't
incredible.
talk words right
But
now.
you hit the game-winning home run?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. I love this article. You
thanks,
see,
man.
Roman colored comedy. I've heard about that work before in
right.
seminary.
Yeah.
But then Coca-Cola. These are just different nicknames. This one doesn't seem appropriate. Colt Kane, Colt Daddy,
You
which
did have
that's
a
my
lot of
favorite.
energy.
Colt Daddy.
Oh,
Dad
yeah,
is a nickname.
My students they'd be like, "Hey, Dad," and I'm like, "I'm not your dad. Like,
Not happening.
stop doing that."
And
but
then
then I reacted.
calculator.
That was the problem.
Well, and Paul was really young looking. He still is, but when he was teaching at the school, it was difficult to differentiate him between some of the older students. And so
I got told not to use the restroom by other teachers. Like there were moments I was like, I'm a teacher.
I mean, but it is a big school, so the difference, there's like 260 guys, maybe up to 300 now at Jesuit in a class.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And so hard
Yeah.
to get to know everybody, and you teach your subject, but you don't see everybody on campus.
That's a much larger
I tried,
operation.
when I was there, I tried to memorize everybody's name before they got to senior year.
That's
so
cool.
then that way, but it was really strange because I cut out their pictures in the yearbook, and then I had flashcards. But then when I'd go on these counselor fly-ins and was preparing for meeting the juniors for the first time, I'm flipping through flashcards of boys in ties.
Yeah.
And people just give me weird looks.
That you cut out of a yearbook and pasted onto something with all different, like,
I didn't think it was that weird. I'm
Did
like,
you
I'm just
also,
learning names.
like-
I got their GPA and test scores, and I needed to prejudge them so I could.
Right? Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Oh man, you're not as smart. I'm still gonna love you, and there's a college for you.
There you go.
There
This
it
is
is.
the right
That's
attitude.
what they need to know.
this is all about. Hey, on the bonus show, I know we're going to be talking about kind of a whole hodgepodge of questions, starting off with some Holy Spirit stuff. But do you know how we finished the Monday show, Chris?
Yeah, it's called Reverse Simpsons.
Why?
Do you know it's because on The Simpsons they used to start every episode in a different way,
Yeah.
and on the BeatiDudes they end every episode in a different way.
Well, this is going to be fun then for you because you seem to be pretty cocky about your knowledge. We're going to ask you a series of questions. There's 15 questions total. And yeah, Pale, it's for you.
Why does it say pale?
Because you're on my Pale list.
Is it like a bucket that you can?
Is that a stock chart that just goes up and to the right at the end of the?
You're on the rise.
Yeah. Okay, this is Jeff.
Yours is normal.
So listen, what we're going to do next is you're going to do a Beatitudes quiz. There's 15 questions. You can ask for help, but if you ask for help, you don't get any points.
Okay.
I mean, if we're talking Cistercian level, this is actually mastery level, advanced, no AP. This is way P. I don't know what that means. If you got how many out of these right, should we give you 500 points?
Well, what if we did like 25 points per question?
That's okay, fine. We'll do that.
He doesn't want to all or none.
Yeah, he's pretty smart. Okay, my
but
question is all on one page, but here's the deal. What?
I don't know as many guest names. Is it about the Beatitudes?
But did I tell you name guests? Have you heard the first question?
No.
Okay, look, you're pretty good at this. So we're going to ask you questions. The Beatitudes haven't all seen these questions. They do know the answers, but we can help you for no points. Okay, so first question is going to come. We're just going to go around the horn like this. Go ahead.
Who is the first Beatitudes guest?
I just said it wasn't going to be about guest names, but that one's actually pretty perfect.
Dave Moore.
No.
Oh, wait. Oh, no.
Dave was second.
It was Duderman.
Or third.
No, they're all close. We can help you out. His name is none of those.
I'll give you another hint. He works up here.
Yeah, everybody does. Kev.
If I blank, I ships.
If I what?
Kevin Blankenship.
If I fits, I ships.
I don't even know that
That's
phrase.
a meme reference.
Kevin Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Fitzpatrick.
You missed it. Paul.
All right.
Names. It was the first one out of the gate.
Negative 25 points.
All right.
What was a favorite Beatitudes moment for you?
This is a really hard one.
Could be anything. What comes to mind recently is the sodas that were different flavors that you guys all tried and that were unique in different flavors.
That is correct.
That's correct.
25 points.
Oh man!
Can I tell you something
there's so
funny?
many. There's so many.
You're
good
pacing the field.
points.
No, that was one of your favorites. My wife told me like she's over the food stuff, and I'm like, all right.
No, I'd also say the first time that you did the rendition of all the openings for episode, was it 200?
Yeah.
Oh man, I laughed so long. I think I texted Paul. I was like, this is so funny.
That's right.
4:03 a.m. Okay. Every time you get to me, my question's going to be the same, but what you have to fill in is different. Okay. So my question is, give the definition in your own words for this Beatitudes word. Crogs.
They're like clogs, but different.
How?
Correct.
You brought them to the Eucharistic Summit. You brought one. The first.
Now you're going to start losing points. Just watch it.
What did you say?
They were at the DCYC. They were not at the
Somebody
Eucharistic Summit.
okay.
made clogs.
It's a wooden shoes with our faces on them that they sell in Russia.
Yeah. There's only one pair.
That's
But
it.
yeah, they're sold.
Sold.
Yeah. The line is no longer there.
Beatitudes plus.
Yes.
That's it.
Which Beatitude cries the most?
Jeff Scheffelbein.
Yep. That's
Oh,
correct.
that's debatable.
But again,
on air.
because I'm only
On
listening,
air.
I'm listening on audio, so he only tells us that
You
he's
know
crying.
it's true, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl, you know it's true.
I don't know why I'm crying right now.
That's a pretty good Jeff.
All right.
All right. How many of our guests are also men of St. Anne Capel? This is multiple choice.
wow.
Multiple choice. Is it 6 to 8, 9 to 10, or 11 to 13?
Gosh.
That's a cool question, isn't
It
it?
is. That's a great question. You had to go back through all of them and then guesstimate whether it was 11 or 13. I would say I'm going to go on the high end, 11, 13.
It's 13.
That's it.
Includes Father Edwin.
Okay.
But what's interesting is those were actual guests.
Correct.
And correct. We didn't really get going with them until season 2. We had one in season 1. And then I know that there was a tipping point moment because we turned off the rest of America. Okay.
Wait a minute.
I have priests who said they started getting
Oh,
jealous.
yeah. Well,
of
because
St.
you're
Anne.
doing Australians that kept coming on. Is that another
Oh,
question?
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. We made USA jealous.
Yeah. That's you turned it off.
Probably swayed the whole election with our Australian stuff.
That was it.
Yeah. There's a lot of great St. Anne's guests here.
Yep. Okay. So what is the definition of Trito?
Ooh.
This is part where when you're thinking, I had to make
Yeah.
noises to keep the audio.
Thank you
people
very much.
interested.
So I'm thinking about there was an episode when you guys had to decipher words that you had to put, you had to say what the word was or unscramble a word. when it was said.
Oh, that's a good.
But is
good
it
guess.
it's kind of like
making me feel
it's
like
kind of
you
like
watched
the
show
Triduum.
before.
Good guess, but incorrect.
Right.
0 points.
Trido is if I said blah blah blah, and he says
Ditto.
and he
Got
says
it.
Trido.
That's right.
Yep.
Oh, sorry guys, I missed that one.
That's okay.
Gotta know your Latin.
Can you interpret that? I just want to make sure I'm reading it right.
Yeah. Do you want me to read this one?
I do.
Okay, when Dave Palmer visited the show, the whole show started with Jeff saying, "Super Dave, I used to blank and listen to you.
Yep.
I used to blank and listen to you."
I don't know the answer to that one.
Sunbathe.
Super Dave, I used to sunbathe
Sunbathe
and listen to you.
I
And
do
that's when he
remember.
said, I was on the radio at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And Paul said, sunbathe. Who even says that word? And then they started saying most people keep this stuff to themselves.
Yeah.
What are you pointing at?
It was hard for me to read that because you missed the first word too, and so it was like as I was reading, I was like, "Is it I used or I used to?" And I knew the right word was used to.
Okay.
You know, I do this stuff when I'm in
Sunbathe.
meetings.
I know. I had to fill in the blank. It was
I'm
hard.
sorry.
I
That
know,
was like
it's
top
okay.
of mind for you. You remembered?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. No, just because it really stood out in the moment. I was like,
Okay.
Jeff, why?
But I feel like that happens so many episodes. Like, Jeff, where did that come from?
It really
Well, people don't
does.
realize this. After the show, I do sunbathe and listen to that person.
Well, no, but we just did our radio show on Friday for Guadalupe Radio Network, our
Okay,
once
right.
monthly.
That's right.
And while we were there, we saw Dave, and so I think Jeff had
Okay.
just made the joke.
Yeah,
on
so it's
Friday.
top of Jeff's
All the
mind.
time.
Correct, yeah.
Actually, it's all I think about. All right, Paul.
Who is going to sign the tiny table someday?
Tim Tebow.
That's correct.
Oh,
With zero
all right.
Did you
hesitation.
see that they're expecting?
Yeah.
I think
That's awesome.
my Facebook algorithm showed me that I might be interested in that.
Tebow baby.
Well, and when
On
we
the
have
way.
Tim Tebow's Tiny T-Bones here at the Tasty Table, I probably messed up a couple of those, but we'll get you one.
Oh, great.
We're going to grill with them.
Okay.
Okay.
I would love to come.
Could you define in your own words what sacrifeast is? Sacrifeast. You didn't listen to our Exodus episodes, did you?
I did listen to a few of them, but
Yeah.
those were I was not doing the Exodus with you guys. So the Lent.
Yeah.
I'm doing it now,
Yeah,
but
it's Advent.
the
Advent one. Yeah.
say the word again.
Sacrifice.
Can you give me where does it come from? The origin.
Well, yes.
Language of origin.
Sacrifice is when you're done with your fasting, then you will, or that you're fasting so much that you have to make a sacrifice, but it's such a big amount.
I love where you're going with this. It's that these guys were not going to eat that day, and so I was going to feast for them.
Got it.
It was a sacrifice that I made
Got
for
it.
them.
Is
It's out
anybody-
of brotherly love.
Feast on our behalf.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Where does the word "dude" come from?
Oh man.
You don't even have to watch the show to
no,
know
I
this answer.
feel like that one was a recent one too.
Yeah, season 1, guest 4 or 5.
No, but we've said it again.
Yeah.
We've
went
hearkened
deep
hearkened
there.
back to it.
We talked about it when we had the president of Legatus.
Yes, we also
yeah.
Brett Atterbury.
That's what
also.
it was. And Brett. All right.
He got us.
I met the
Yep.
president of Legatus.
Did that help you?
Nope. Dude comes from. Nope. I'm out.
Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Ah,
It's
that's
a
right.
dandy of a man.
Well
dressed well.
dressed.
I'm just nervous. I need to get
Yankee
in my
dude.
game. How many questions are we up to?
You got 5 left.
Okay.
And right now you're batting about 60%.
Okay.
looks like.
That's pretty,
Okay.
it's pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's like a freshman taking
no,
the biology
50%.
AP exam.
Come, Holy Spirit.
Go for it.
All right. Which guest/episode received the most views on YouTube ever, even if it was on another company's YouTube channel?
It was the priest who talked about the Shroud of Turin.
Don't give him any answers to this. You're wrong. But hold on the answer there. It was Rob Hayes on the Ashford channel.
Oh.
Over 250,000 views.
So it doesn't show up on YouTube?
No, it's on his YouTube.
Got
This
it.
is a trick question because it's even if it was on somebody else's channel.
Okay.
So
Trick
just hold on
question.
to that one.
He's
okay.
a nice guy.
Can you? Yes, super nice guy. That's important. Can you define in your own words, lorso?
Yes, it's it's your lower back that most people call, or it's kind of like your lumbar on your torso, but it's
That's it.
your lorso.
Yes, also known as your lower torso.
Lord.
The Lorso.
You get the points for that, though.
Yeah.
don't you?
Correct.
I think
He
you're-
made it more medical sounding.
Yeah.
than we
I'm
did.
in.
Yeah.
Did you run out?
I've got one more.
Okay, go for it.
Who was winner of Blessed Are the Joke Makers in season 2?
Who won? Oh,
Paul.
Yeah, and season 1, 3,
Yeah, I know. That's
4,
a trick question also.
5, 6,
He's always
7.
the winner. So I came on, I recognized
But
I
not today.
I probably was not going to give the points to Paul when I came on, just to help you guys out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a
But not
sacrifice.
Jeff.
I was so close in season 1 because of the mercy.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good run.
Okay.
Okay,
I've
yours?
got one more. Which guest/episode received the most views on the BeatiDudes YouTube page, on our YouTube page?
Was it not the priest from the Shroudatory?
It was. Yeah.
Although
Bit of a trick.
Michael David Moses, his is ticking up. I think it's that song, and I cried. Man,
Oh,
see you in the Eucharist.
I've been telling people to go watch that one, and people come back and are like, "Thank you for that."
Oh my
it was moving.
gosh.
Oh,
I've
jeez.
rewatched that one multiple times.
Yeah.
Because
Okay,
I
same.
knew when it hit, I was like, I got to watch this on YouTube to see Paul go like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he made that sound effect, but I knew that he would pull back from the table.
I was like, Bradley, this is gonna make you cry. She's bawling.
yeah.
She's like,
I said the same thing to my wife. I was like, yeah, check this out.
she's like, play it again. I want to cry more.
Yeah,
Shout out.
love it. Okay,
Doing
last
great work.
question. In your own words, what is ballerino?
It's a male ballerina.
Yep.
Yeah,
Not
but I think
Correct.
we
Can
actually
you name that guest for bonus points?
no.
Okay, whatever 9 times 25 is, that's where you scored.
225.
Thank you. Christopher, 225 for the Discalced Blackwell from Cistercian.
Wow.
Thank you so much for, you've proven that you mostly understand us.
Right. I'm pulling in the
I give you
data.
a 3.
Yeah.
Passing
On the
grade.
AP.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay. Yes.
In regular colleges,
satisfactory.
that is actually skipping your first year.
Right.
Yeah.
I can pass the first BeatiDudes course.
That's it.
At least with enough knowledge to know that I've done it.
At Wyoming Catholic College.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So here at Lucid Private Office, we are going to bid you adieu. Z.com. We're going to bid you adieus. Everything's plural. In the world of abundance of lucidprivateoffices.com.
Amen.
We have,
we don't-
I feel like
nice
we have
recovery.
solidarity at the table today.
Yes, we do have. And I
Oh,
feel like
yeah.
I'm sharing that health with all of you.
And when it comes to money and morality, I always just look to Nick because I have no idea how to do it.
Jeff, you are on fire today.
Funny you should mention that. Paper clips.
wait.
That's our entire show.
This is so fun.
Well played. Well played.
There's more to come.
Yep.
Come
Come back
like
for the
that,
bonus.
dudes.
Well, so can I just put one thought into it?
Yeah.
So the Paul at the end of every episode says, if you'd like to join us at the tiny table, subscribe on YouTube.
It's a long list.
But so the first time I subscribed, I was like, I want to come to the tiny table. But I didn't realize that it was like just to look at the tiny table
To join
on
us
YouTube.
through the viewing
And then here's my
window.
other, we might need to retape it because he says at the _ BeatiDudes on YouTube. And so I typed in on YouTube at the end.
This is exactly what
So
I'm saying.
I was going to give you that feedback in private, but I feel like everybody should know that
But no,
because
yeah,
other people
thanks.
are nodding their heads right now. Like I said the same thing at the _ on YouTube.
Well, 2 things I want to share with you. Number 1, did we not make good on if you want to join us at the tiny table?
Well, I do feel super special. It's like this for all you listeners out there who think that this is not a possibility. It could be you if you subscribe on YouTube.
The more
That's
subscribers,
at
the more
the
years
number
of guests we have
shift
to.
and 2 on your keyboard.
Shift and 2 at the _ on the BeatiDudes
It's close, yeah.
YouTube website.
That's shift and 2. So the @ sign.
Do you know what I also need to make sure I get right? It's not thebeatidude.com. It's
Oh, yeah.
BeatiDudes.
Yes.
All things plural.
Yeah.
The Trinity.
And I wonder if Google is coming up because it's recognizing now, like it's not autocorrecting BeatiDudes to dudes anymore. Like I'm getting,
it's
maybe
happening.
it's just mine, but
SEO, baby.
That's what I'm talking about.
We've been working for this.
Next level. Next level.
on fire.
Media.
Media.com.
/
BeatiDudes.
All right, everybody, we're going to
First
see you
time.
with all of our amazing sponsors and really with everybody that we've promised from Cistercian to bring through here, gracing the halls of the Abbey here at 511. But Chris, we're going to see you at 10 a.m. Mass on Sunday. For the rest of you, we will.
See you in the Eucharist.
God bless.
Thanks for tuning in. If you'd like to join us at our undersized table, subscribe to the video version of the show on YouTube by typing @ that's the symbol @, so shift and 2 on your keyboard, @ the _ BeatiDudes on YouTube. We'll see you there.